Greetings and welcome to the Blackwater Cantina. Now if you're looking to get started in Warmachine and you're trying to choose an army, decide where you get started, then this is probably the video for you. My name's Mazz. I've been exploring the Iron Kingdoms for a little over 20 years now, and I'd absolutely love for you to feel the same joy that I have about the Iron Kingdoms and the world of Warmachine. So come on and let's talk about the Hive Mind. You've seen the creepy models and they look awesome so far, right? Well, how do we get involved in the Hive Mind, and what does it mean, and where do they live in the Iron Kingdoms? So, if the best episode of Buffy is Hush, because the gentlemen are all the right kinds of creepy, if Mind Flayers are the ideal villain, and if when you were watching Hellboy you cheered on Cronin, then these are probably the guys for you. The Cephalyx, as they're called, they have a creepy surgical aesthetic, lots of sharpened blades and long gowns, along with levitating everywhere, and having both telekinetic and telepathic powers. They're an underground dwelling race that abduct people from the surface and perform all kinds of horrific experiments on them to create the perfect servants for any manual labour. Drudges do all the lifting and carrying, digging of new tunnels, and anything else the Cephalyx need. Some of the subjects are unlucky enough to become monstrosities, huge beasts of grafted muscle made to wage war with anyone who threatens the hive. The Cephalyx also have a deal with the forces of Cryx, known as the Nightmare Empire. The people of Cryx worship the great dragon Toruk, and they view him as their god. He has shared his powers of necromancy and created a council of iron-clad liches to act for him throughout the world. The nature of the deal between these two forces is unknown, but they work closely together, providing materials for Cephalyx experiments and bodies to muster the undead legions of Cryx. Hive Mind Cadre forms a 30-point starter for two separate armies, the Cryx Necrofactorium and Dark Operations. So if you want to lean into the Dark Operations side and the Cephalyx look, that's a whole army of Cephalyx, monstrosities and drudges, and any mind-controlled units that they bring with them. They focus on a more targeted approach to removing threats, having tools that allow them to move opposing models, exposing key support pieces, remove the enemy's teeth and crippling their plans whilst they line up for the kill or the perfect surgical strike. The Cryx, on the other hand, are the undead faction. They have lots of bodies, focus on attrition, they have lots of abilities to resurrect fallen warriors. It allows them to dictate the flow of battle and ensure that even in the later stages of the game they're still performing at peak efficiency while their opponent is ground down and is missing those key pieces. So the Hive Mind Cadre is available in two different ways. Firstly, it can be purchased just like any other Warmachine faction as a 3D printed direct from Steamforged games. It's also available from the Warmachine 3D tribe on MyMiniFactory. When you sign up, it's part of the welcome pack, so as soon as you sign up you get access to the Hive Mind Cadre, all of the models for the first 30 points. This also gives you a discount on any further Cephalyx pieces that you want to buy, as those are available both as STLs and from Steamforged games. If you're going to go the Cryx route with these guys, all of the Cryx models are available to purchase at your local game store. They're not available as STLs. That bit out of the way. In the box you'll find Exelon Kythos. He is the leader model and is a warcaster, meaning he uses the focus mechanics from the game of Warmachine. He can control the battlefield with his feet, giving huge boost to defences of friendly models, making them harder to hit, and then if they are missed they get to move as well. He can also revive models, allowing to replace models lost in combat, and has the spell Deadweight, which means if he kills something with that as an offensive spell, it also slows down other people around his target. He's supported by the Malfessor. This is the monstrosity in the box. This is the equivalent of the Warjack for other factions. This thing is a frontline brawler, brings a huge heavy hitting flail, also brings a net launcher for subduing your opponents and dragging them in towards you where you can then pick them off. It also has the telemetry power, buffs up any arcane attacks, making them more accurate against any targets near him, as well as the mage static to interfere with your opponent's spellcasting as well. Whilst he is low defense and easy to hit, he does boast a huge 36 hit points, which is the maximum for a cohort of this size. Then we have two solos in the box. Now these guys operate separately, both of which are Cephalyx characters. Silex is Xiphus, who can heal friendly models and has an arcane attack. and has the stealth ability which allows him to stay hidden from enemy ranged attacks. Then there's Aculon Themestra, who can support Kythos in his spellcasting, allowing him to keep spells in play for longer for free, and can also cast some of his spells as well, giving you additional casting options. Then the final part of the box is the Criterions. These are a unit, a set of 3 drudges. These are the immovable force within the box. They are mindless flesh puppets, but can take a huge amount of punishment. They're there to suck up the damage, get charged, get hit, get broken, and just stay in place, and maybe even hit back a little bit. These are perfect for protecting your slightly squishier Cephalyx models, who, if they get hit, are probably in a lot of trouble. Got quite a few good synergies within the box. So, I mentioned before, telemetry on the Malfessa, allowing Themestra, Xiphas, and Kythos to be more accurate with their spell slinging. The Criterions are also able to be revived by Kythos and Themestra using the spell slave ability. Once your opponent has spent a huge amount of effort removing them, you can simply put them back in play, which can be devastating. Where do we expand from here? Well, if you purchase the STLs, the Criterions are actually a field allowance of 2, meaning you can have 2 units of these guys in an army list. It's a very good choice to immediately print the second one. They will do well in both Cryx and Cephalyx armies. If you're planning to go into Dark Operations, then each unit or monstrosity you want to get is purchased individually. You can either purchase again the STLs or pre-printed versions from the Steamforged store. There's no combined boxes for these guys, so you basically can pick and choose any units that you want. Expanding out with, again, the second unit Criterions, I would usually suggest agitators and some more monstrosities. They're a good starting choice. The agitators directly buff any monstrosities you've got, including the Malfessa from the box. You can also pick up Cognifex Siphon, who is another leader model. He is geared around using lots of monstrosities, so again, if you pick up the monstrosities, you can print more of those. Malfessa is a character, so you can only have one of them, unfortunately, but there is also the Subduer, Wrecker, and Warden monstrosities available. Basically, pick and choose anything you're looking for. There aren't really any bad choices in the Dark Operations list. Everything is solid. You've only got 3 casters to choose from: Cognifex Siphon, Kythos, and Excellent Thexus. All excellent choices. All have their own themes within the army. If you're looking to go into Cryx, then the Command Starter is a solid choice there. It gives you a strong base of Cryx models and a second caster, so you can mix up the playstyle. Then, if you're looking to continue with the more attrition playstyle and the hordes of undead, then the core expansion is the best start for that. It gives you 2 Mechanothrall units and a number of support pieces, the Necrosurgeons, to expand the sort of revival shenanigans that you can play with, and the caster Sepsira, who again is all around having those Mechanothralls, buffing them up, and having them keep coming back for more. So, I hope this has given you a little bit of an idea where to go with your new Hive Mind. All that's next to do is have a look at the rules, get them on the table, roll some dice. All of the rules are free in the Warmachine app, so you can go ahead and download that, have a look through, have a read in things in more detail. If you got any questions about anything, pop it in the comments. Thanks for listening.